Yo, what is up, Seaman gang? Welcome to the law number 3 from the book 48 Laws of Power. Law number 3 is all about concealing your intention. Okay, you need to conceal your intentions. Law number 3 is divided into two parts. That is, first one is use decoy of desires and red herring to throw people off the scent. And the second is use smoke screens. Create smoke screens. Well, I'm going to get into that in a moment because I think you don't know any of that shit. Okay. Part 1 has two stories that I'm going to tell you. One story is of a prostitute. There was a prostitute who used to sell herself to rich people. We also call them courtesians or whatever they say. Okay. There was a prostitute named Ninon. She was 62 years old. And there was a young and a handsome lad named Marquis. You know what? Marquis had a problem with dealing with women because he was just a 22-year-old virgin. He didn't know how to deal with people. He didn't know how to attract them bitches. He didn't buy my course. So that's why he didn't know how to attract some bitches. That's why he went to Ninon for help. Okay, now Ninon is a master at seduction. You know, she is a prostitute and she is also a courtesian. That means she is prostitute for richer people. The people who have lots and lots of bread. Okay, now what Ninon does is, there is a girl that Marquis likes, and what Ninon does is instructs Marquis on how to conceal his intentions and make her feel like she's experiencing something new. Okay, the first instruction that Ninon gives is that for Marquis to make her feel like that she is also a friend, but sometimes give a little bit of hint that he wants to make her his fucking wife or something. He act with her as if he is her friend, but sometimes give a little bit of hint that will throw her off the chart. Ninon says that, and he does that, and it works like a fucking charm. Marquis is attracting bitches here and there. And the next thing that Ninon does is Ninon sends some pretty bitches around Marquis. And what that does is Marquis, the girl who Marquis is trying to attract is becoming jealous. You know that when bitches see you with other men, they become jealous. Okay, so Ninon does that trick of the book, tells Marquis to do that trick, and Marquis does it. It's working like a fucking charm. And Marquis is getting all the attention from that woman. Okay, now he's going to spas. He's not showing up when the woman is calling him, but he's showing up in random places like the spa with beautiful women, with beautiful chicks. And you can also see the social proof law you can also see Marquis using the social proof law. Yes, if you have 2-3 beautiful bitches at the side of your desk, it is easier to talk to more beautiful bitches. This is called social proof. Okay, now he's using even that. Ninon is a great seduction star, and Ninon knew all the secrets how to seduce. Okay, now Marquis does all that. He's playing a game. That woman likes it. She's feeling special. But one day when Marquis and that bitch he's trying to attract are alone, Marquis spoils it all. He goes and tells her that he likes or loves her. Everything is just ruined. This fucking Marquis doesn't know how to conceal his intention, and everything is ruined. They don't talk after this. It's weird. There is a gap between them because it was not reached up to the point where they could confess each other. Because for that woman, Marquis was playing a game of seduction, and she felt it and she was enjoying it. But when love came in between that seduction, she was like, I don't want to fucking settle down. I'm gonna be clotted by Tyrone, and I'm going to settle by 30. No, she was not like that. Okay, now you can see that Marquis didn't conceal his intention, so that she left him. Okay, now you can see Marquis's defeat, and there is the second example. The example is of Otto von Bismarck. See, Otto von Bismarck was a patriotic man. He was a Prussian man from Prussia and wanted to go in war with Austria, because Austria was dividing Germany at that time, and Prussia was a friend of Germany, so they wanted to take. Prussia was not a friend. Prussia is a close relative of Germany, so that's why they wanted to take revenge, because Austria was dividing Germany at that time. Okay, now what did Otto von Bismarck did? Now listen, Otto von Bismarck was a huge patriotic guy, so he wanted war, like crazy war. He was giving speech here and there about war, and Prussia was going to attack Austria, but the king of Prussia didn't wanted that, because the king of Prussia knew that if they attacked Austria, they were going to die, because Prussia was not powerful. And deep down, Otto von Bismarck also knew that. And he concealed his intention. At the last speech or the last minute, Otto von Bismarck came. He was a patriotic person who used to tell that war was the solution. But that day he came on and gave the speech that war is not the solution. We must not do war. Because deep down he knew that they were going to kill people. Deep down he knew that. And he presented with such an example that people were confused, because one time he was trying to go to war, another time he's trying to tell that war is harmful. Fathers will become sonless due to war, and the people are being confused, like what the fuck is going on. And the people, because they are like-minded and peaceful, yes, the people were confused, and they voted to not go into the war. Okay, Otto von Bismarck was a smart guy. He knew in order to boost his reputation, he needed to talk about patriotic things. Okay, he talked about patriotic things, but when the last minute came, he used his mind and told everyone that war is not the solution. War is not the solution, because if war happened, Prussia would be dead. Prussia would be nowhere to be found, because Austria at that time would kill Prussia into brutal pieces. Okay, so Otto von Bismarck confused the people of Prussia by giving those damn fucking speeches, and by confusing it, the king won, because the king wanted to be peaceful. I think the king didn't want it to be peaceful. Otto von Bismarck was smart, and he wanted peace, because he knew that if war would happen, Prussia would be dead. So what he did was he confused the people, and basically he concealed his intention at such a point that people stopped being sure about war. They were like, oh, what if we lose that war? They came back to senses, and they voted that war wasn't the solution. And and Otto von Bismarck, by doing this, he had a great reputation beforehand, because he was patriotic. But now, due to cancelling the war and people knowing that if they would have gone in war, they would be killed, he was made the cabinet minister of Prussia. He concealed his intention. He made people confused. He did what is right, and now he is the cabinet minister of Prussia. So this is the point. When we conceal our intentions, people are not going to be fixated. We can change our decision at the last moment. People will not care. But when we blurt it out in front of them and then we try to change it, you are like a fraud. Okay? So conceal your intentions. Become a patriotic guy, but use your fucking head. Okay? Otto von Bismarck used his fucking head. In order to gain reputation, he became a patriotic guy. But in order to save his country, he became someone who was say no to war. No, he was a peaceful guy. Now, part 2 of this is use smoke screen. Now, this is one of my favorite stories told in the book. This is of Giesel and the yellow kid Will. The yellow kid Will, I think you know, he is going to be mentioned in the book. He is a fucking con artist. He is the greatest con artist of all time. He is one of the smartest and most creative con artists. So what did Will did? Giesel was a millionaire. Okay, he was a millionaire. He had lots of money, and Will knew that. Will targeted Giesel. One day, Will went to Giesel's office, and Giesel was a private. Giesel was a real estate agent, I think so. And Will went down and gave and question. Video खिचिरहेको भित्र नआइज कोही नि नआयो छ्या कस्तो हो कि बिचमा डिस्टर्ब गर्दिए खातेहरु. And now Giesel part 2 use smokes. Okay, not part 2 nahi. Okay, so Giesel was a millionaire and Will decided to came back. And Will went to Giesel's office and he told that he was going to buy a property for $10,000. Okay, he would deposit $2,000. He would need to now he was just going to question, and Giesel told Will that he needed to deposit $2,000 in order to get that $10,000 property. Okay, now but Will insisted that he would pay $8,000. Will insisted that Will made him feel like Giesel Will made Giesel feel like Will was a rich person. Okay, now Will blotted some shit like he was he was this huge scheme was there like this, and Giesel was a millionaire. Every millionaire wants to be a billionaire. So when Giesel heard about the scheme that Will was talking about, Will was a young man. He had Giesel thought that Will had a lot of money, so he was interested in that scheme. So what Will did was Will told him that after a lot of I'll not tell you. Will was like, I'll not tell you, that this is personal matter. After a lot of that, Will finally gave him, and Will told him that his uncle's affiliate was a rich person, and they had a villa in town, and that villa was worth so much money, but the uncle was assigned to sell that villa, and they didn't ask for they didn't care for the money. They only asked for the price that he would sell it for. Okay, they asked the rich people. Will tell that. Okay, I'm getting a lot of confusion. Okay. Will told Giesel that his uncle's affiliate was a rich person, and they had a villa, and they needed to sell that villa ASAP, but they didn't care about money. You could give them whatever the much and they would take it, but not less than $35,000. Okay, now his uncle wanted to get revenge on that person, so he would sell that villa for 30. Will told Giesel that his uncle had a grudge against that affiliate, so Will told that Giesel that his uncle would sell the property in just $35,000 and resell it back at $155,000 at its original price. And Giesel was interested. Giesel wanted to buy that fucking property so much because they were just selling it for $35,000. It was $155,000 or something, I don't remember, but they were trying to sell that property. Okay, and Giesel made sure that and Will made sure that Will made sure that Giesel was listening properly. So that day they decided to go and meet with that, and Will brought a boxer who had his stomach out and who was gassing. Okay, and Will told Giesel that he was a boxer. If any trouble happens, he's going to save us. Okay, and they went on and they had a deal, and in that deal, the deal was successful. Giesel bought that property for $35,000. Will sold it for Will's uncle sold it and had the grudge. At least Giesel was thinking that, but right then and there, Will and the other person who was selling the property had a fight. Okay, now they were screaming, arguing with each other, and then finally the fight turned into a bet. Okay, the fight turned into a bet, and Will was like, "Oh no, I'm going to take the bet." My boxer, and the fight went on to a boxing match because they both had boxers in each side. Okay, Will brought a fat boxer, but the other person brought a ex-retired boxer. Now they were trying to. Will was like Will's affiliate, that person who sold the villa, was like, "Your boxer cannot beat my boxer," and then they fucking took a bet. Will took a bet of those two boxers. They are going to fight. Who is going to win? They made a bet. Two affiliates made a bet. Okay, now then they were ready for the match, but Will's uncle came and scolded him because they didn't have any money to bet on boxing. Okay, now Giesel saw that, and Giesel was like, "Oh, take some of my money," because Giesel was already in $155,000 profit because he just got the big ass property for just $35,000, and now they were cheering up. There was a big match that was going to be happening, and Will brought a fat boxer, as I said above, and the two boxers went to the ring. Okay, now the two boxers went into the ring. They fought, and with one shot, with one jab or cross or hook, whatever they said, the affiliate's boxer knocked out Will's boxer, and the affiliate had brought a friend who was a ex finance. And the affiliate had brought a friend who was a financer now, but he was a ex doctor. Okay, now he went down, and the boxer that Will brought was faint. He was unconscious, and he went down and checked the pulse, and the doctor told that he was dead. Okay, he spluttered some blood outside, and he was dead. Now they were all worrying. Now Giesel ran out of them there. And after Giesel ran out of there without taking any money, the $35,000 was just left there. And because Giesel doesn't want to be involved in a fucking case, why would he take that $35,000? Because his life, and he has money from the previous thing, he has money. Why would he risk just $35,000 for his entire life? He could go to fucking jail. So that's why Giesel runs. But after Giesel runs, the boxer that was on the ground, the boxer that Will brought with a fat stomach, took out something from his mouth and woke up. It was all Will's plan. It was all Will's plan to take $35,000 money from Giesel. Okay, Will, everyone was scripted. Everything that happened there was scripted. Will had scripted the argument. Will had scripted everything. Every fucking line Will had scripted. And he had just scammed $35,000 from a millionaire. That's why they call him the White Kid Will. He used smoke screens. He used smoke screen as such a way that the first smoke screen was Giesel was interested in that property. Was very much interested in that property because it was a big property. And Will, uncle, would sell it at just $35,000. He was blinded by that offer, and then right when he was taking the money, he was blinded by another thing, that is boxing. And then after being blinded by all that shit, he was so scared he ran the fuck out of there. The money was taken by White Kid Will. He split it in his group and they ran away. Okay, like this, he constructed one of the best scams I have ever read in a fucking book. I wanted to be Will's disciple, okay? Them shit hits hard. Now the next example of used smokescreen is Selassie and Balsa. Selassie was a great Ethiopian leader, okay? Selassie was an Ethiopian leader, but he was not smart. He always used to smile. He was like dorky kind of shit. And Balsa was he was a jerk. He was a jerk kind of leader. They were both leaders, mind you. Selassie was the leader of all. Everyone who would come in his palace would respect him and appoint him as leaders because they were generals and he was the leader. Only Balsa didn't respected Selassie. So Balsa was called in his palace. Selassie called Balsa in his palace, and Balsa didn't feel safe. So he brought 10,000 soldiers with him in order to come to the palace of Selassie, whatever the shit. Okay, now Balsa came there. Balsa came there, and Selassie invited Balsa to drink. Okay, drink at somewhere, some place they call. And Balsa was worried because all the previous Ethiopian leaders used to use that place to invite the victim and make them drink liquor and kill them. Okay, so Balsa was scared and he took 600 men and went to that place, okay, to drink with Selassie. When Balsa reached there, Selassie was like all kind and shit. He helped all them. He did all of that. He hospitalized them with a great smile, and then he did all that. And Balsa was like, what a fucking loser. I'm going to kill him and take his entire reason. I'm going to be the king. So after spending 2-3 days, he returned to where he kept his 9,400 soldiers, because 600 soldiers were with him and 9,400 soldiers were in a base camp that was all rangi-birang, that was all colorful. They were on a base camp, okay? And when Balsa returned to the base camp, he was like fucking shocked because there was nothing in the base camp. Everything was destroyed. There was ruins. Balsa had underestimated Selassie. Selassie was a cruel person who used to hide his intentions with a smile. Selassie hospitalized Balsa, but deep down he sent his troops and he murdered or and he took all the weapons of Balsa's soldiers that were resting outside, 2 to 3 miles away. And then Balsa had no soldiers. Balsa was trapped like a fucking chess piece. He had no soldiers, only 600 soldiers, and Selassie had a whole reason. Selassie fooled him. Okay, Balsa thought Selassie was a kind-hearted person, but Selassie was a fucking mastermind. When they were enjoying, Selassie's army were just killing Balsa's armies outside. And Selassie realized that Balsa could hear the commotion, so that's why he took his army and took gold and bought all the weapons from the soldier. And if the soldier didn't sell them weapons, he used to intimidate them. Okay, they sold all the weapons. Now what would the soldiers have to fight with? It was all ruins. Okay, now Selassie, he's a chess player. You can see right here, he's a strategist. He cornered Balsa and killed him. Now at the last moment, Balsa realized why all the other generals respected the Ethiopian leader, the Ethiopian king, Selassie. Because Selassie was a mastermind. All the Ethiopian leaders were like, oh no, I'm gonna win. Selassie was the only one of them to survive one of the longest time in the Ethiopian rule, in the Ethiopian regime. He was one of the king to survive the most amount of time because he always used this. He never used to jump into conclusion. He never used to fear. He never used to underestimate or overestimate people. He used to use his mind like fucking playing a chess. You can see how Balsa thought that he could easily kill Selassie, but Selassie deep down destroyed his entire army. When they were having drinks and partying all night, Selassie's army destroyed Balsa's everything. Okay, now these are the examples of law number 3 of 48 laws of power. Some laws are big, I know, I understand. That's why I'm explaining it to you in a funny way. Okay, now we get on to how can you use it. You can use it in following ways. You can conceal your intentions. Every time, do not let your mouth run like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to the gym. No, shock them with the changes. Not fucking speaking like a fucking blabber. Not speaking like that. Surprise them with the changes inside of you. Don't let them know your next move. Okay, now the easiest way to distract someone is to focus on another goal. Focus on another goal and make it seem like it's the most important thing in your life. Okay, make them feel like this goal is the most important thing in your life, and they will think that you want to achieve this goal anyhow, but there is deep down you want another goal that you are trying to achieve. That is the most realistic way you can use this. And never blurt stupid shit in front of everyone. Honesty is not the best policy, because honesty offends everyone. Honesty is maybe the cause of your fucking downfall. Shit happens, life happens. Buckle up. Okay, don't be honest. I'm not trying to say that lie to everyone, but don't be brutally honest, because it cuts more than it heals. Okay, honesty cuts more than it heals. Honesty hurts. You don't want to hurt other people, because if you hurt your own supporters, then who is going to fucking support you, bitch ass? Now, how I used it. Basically, I have used it many times. Yeah, I'm using it right now. I'm using it right now. As you can see, I'm using this right now. I'm concealing my intentions. I'm not revealing everything you see. I'm not revealing everything I know. I'm not revealing anything. So like this, I'm using it right now, and you can also use it. So by telling this much, I want to say goodbye. Today's video was a long one, but don't worry, we fuck with bitches, we get them bitches. Remember, don't tell a bitch you love her. Play the game of seduction, because the seduction, after 2 or 3 years, it lasts forever. But if you just blot out, I love you, just fucking shit. Okay, now, after saying this, after giving you some of the fucking examples, I want to say you again that hold your tongue on a fucking leash. Otherwise, it's going to bite people around you. Conceal your intentions, make other people feel like you are not working, but at the right moment when they turn back, you are with the sharp knife, catching the fucking back. Okay. Okay. Bye. Have a great time.